Sipoc stands for an acronym: supplier, input, process, output, and customer. See, actually, when we are on a project, we should try to understand the problem at the process level, which means where exactly the problem is happening. See, you remember our original discussion: system, subsystem, components, and then process. So we need to have a proper clarity. Which process is actually responsible for the failure? Which particular process is actually responsible for the failure? Once you identify the process, then you have to pick up critical steps, not all the steps. For example, you have joined this training program. What are the important steps you are going through here? First step, you inquired, and then somebody explained everything. You are now convinced. And then the second step, you made the payment. And then the third step, you are attending the training program. And then the fourth step, you will be writing an exam. And then finally, the fifth step, the certificate will be dispatched. So how many important steps we are considering here? We are considering 5 important steps, right? 5, right? Yeah, 5 important steps. But actually, there can be many steps. Isn't it? Your payment is verified in between. And then your certificate preparation, some documents are getting prepared. Document verification happens. Now, to prepare for the exam, you are learning. And in order to teach you the content, we are preparing. So many things are happening. But at the Sipoc means creating a high-level map of the process. Sipoc means creating a high-level map of the process, maybe the 10,000-foot view of the process, bird's eye view. But what is very, very important is the starting point and ending point are very important. The starting point and ending point are very important. The starting point is probably, the inquiry. How the customer experience is during the inquiry. That's the first step. And then what is the kind of experience customer is getting during the certificate dispatch, right? So the first step and last step are very clear, and the important steps in between are captured. Now, why should we do this? We want to understand all the parties involved in our project. The parties are known as stakeholders. During the inquiry, you are making the inquiry. The end user himself, is involved. And then from our side, let's say the counselors are involved. They will be giving you the information and all that. And then the training is happening. Now, who is involved? The trainers are involved. During the training process, you are the participant, you are learning. And then what happens? The examination. Now, the exam team is also involved. Then the certification team is involved. And finally, the dispatch team is involved. Can you see the involvement of so many stakeholders? If any one of them, or if any one of them is not understanding their responsibility, or the requirement of any one of the party is not fulfilled by the previous process, then what will happen? The end user experience will be definitely dissatisfied. Yes or no?
Yes,
So,
expectation.
yeah. So we really wanted to understand all the stakeholders involved. And so the boundaries are very clear. The boundaries are very clear. So once an inquiry is submitted, the process starts. And it goes up to the moment the dispatch details are shared. The starting point and ending point are clear. Starting point is a candidate submitting an inquiry. The ending point is the dispatch details. The tracking details of the certificates are given to the candidate. So everything that happens prior to the inquiry, everything that happens after the sharing of the tracking details is beyond the scope of the project. Clear, all of you? Now, what can we do to ensure the user experience is always great in the platform? And so what are the various steps we need to list down? And then for each of the step, who is actually the customer? Let us say, for example, during the training, who is the customer? All the participants are the customer. Now, what do you want? What are your expectations? Your expectations are no, you want to learn the Six Sigma tools and techniques. Yes or no? You want to understand the Six Sigma principles. And so the process should be able to actually meet those requirements. So see, Sipoc is nothing but an Excel table with the 5 column. First column will stand for supplier. Second column, input. Third column, process. The fourth column, output. And finally, the fifth column, customer. Now, as far as the training process is concerned, customers are participants. The requirements are, they want to learn so many tools and techniques. And now what is the process? And the process is, no, the session is getting conducted. There are some discussions, there are some lectures happening, there are some activities happening, there are some questions getting answered. These are all, this is the process. And in order to execute this process and meet those requirements, what are the inputs required? Some preparation. The slides are required, isn't it? Slides are required, some mock questions are required. And who is responsible for preparing all this content? The trainer himself is responsible. So the trainer is the supplier. Participants are the customer. The process is clear. What is the input that goes into the process and who is providing the input? What is the output that is coming out of the process and who is actually receiving? Can you see how are we thinking here? So this thinking, can definitely give you a very good idea about the process which you are going to improve. And when you are mapping the process, you have to map the process in the current state. Even if there are problems, you record it as it is. You're not supposed to make any changes or you are not supposed to create the ideal state of the process. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to record the process in the as it is condition and understand all the stakeholders involved. So this later on you can develop this process into a detailed process flowchart. Later on, you can develop the process into a detailed value stream map. So let me show you how a Sipoc will look like. With simple example, and then we move on to the measure place. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen now, the Sipoc. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's visible. And this is how, so here is the overview of the Sipoc. See here, what is the process? The process is processing a credit card request. The client has submitted a credit card application. The order details are entered in the computer. After entering the order details, the credit check is performed, the CIBIL score and other things. And then once it is satisfactory, the card is actually ordered. Once the card is ordered, the confirmation letter is sent to the customer via email. And then all the application and everything, all the documents are, the paperwork are filed. There ends the process. Do you now understand the starting point and ending point of the process? Processing a credit card. This is how happens in the credit card section of a bank. So the salesperson, they bring the application. Yes or no? The salesperson, they bring the application. And finally, who will receive the confirmation letter? The card
The
requester. Exactly, right?
user.
The client. Yeah, whoever applied for the card. So here, just the broader understanding about the Sipoc is given. Now, see, I have created a Sipoc for a simple process of making a photocopy. If you want to make a photocopy in a photocopier machine, first thing is you must put the original. Then you should close the lid. Then you adjust the settings. Then you press the start button. Then finally you remove the original. These are the steps. But the process is simply written as making a photocopy. And now, who are the customer? You need the photocopies for yourself.
I
You
will be
want
the
to,
customer.
yeah, you will be the customer, and then you want to file certain copies in your files, and then maybe for other purpose, some certain document you want to send it to your management. Certain copies you want to put it in notice board. And so the requirements can be different. Do you understand? That is why we are writing all the customers. For notice board, I may need it in A3 sheet. For filing purpose, I need it in A4. For submission to my management, I might require the color printout. All that you have to write it here. Output requirement. Do you understand? Customer requirements will be written as output here. How many of you understand this thing, right? The size, the clarity, the color or black and white and everything, has to be declared very clearly. Here, for discussion purpose, we have simply written copies. And then what is the process? The process steps are also indicated. Then for performing each of the steps, you need so many input. You need a photocopier machine, you need paper, you need a toner, you need the original also, you need the electricity to operate the copier machine. All of these things are input and who will provide. And whoever can provide the inputs, they are here called as suppliers. They are here called as suppliers. So supplier is not always someone from Japan. Supplier can be sometimes a person sitting next to you. Supplier can sometimes be yourself. For example, who will bring the originals? Who will provide the originals? When you need a photocopy, you have to bring your originals, right? That way you become a supplier. So you see all the suppliers on the left extreme column. You see all the customers on the right extreme column. All of them are in general called as stakeholders of the process. Am I right? So unless and until all the people are involved in the project and all of them understand their responsibilities, then making changes in the process and then making the same process perform in a better manner are difficult. So this is the purpose of Sipoc. We understand the scope, we understand the stakeholders at every stage of the process. Hope it is clear, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now let's understand one another process. Let's talk about Sipoc for one more process. Pizza preparation and then delivery. So now imagine you are the pizza outlet manager in a particular area, and there are too many complaints coming, in your outlet. The complaints are about the delayed delivery of the pizza or the pizza is not in hot condition. These kind of complaints are coming, right? Now, no complaint about the taste, but the concerns are about the timing, right? The drive. So what is the CTQ here? If every single customer is talking about the delay in the delivery, if every single customer is concerned about the, the freshness of the pizza. Yeah, that means the driver of satisfaction is the time here. The earlier you deliver, more satisfied the customer will be, right? So the delivery time or the delivery lead time is the metric to be improved. Hope all of you agree with me on that. Now,
Yes.
what is the definition for a delivery lead time? If I ask you to write down the definition for a delivery lead time, will you be able to do it, all of you? I can give you a minute now. I can give you a minute. Please try to write the definition of delivery lead time with respect to the context I have told you, right? So what is the starting point? What is the ending point? And so the definition should clearly guide your project team members to measure the delivery lead time. Will you be able to write down the definition?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Start to
Yeah,
end.
please try. Parallelly, I want to give all of you a suggestion. You all know ChatGPT, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So please go to chatgpt.com and ask the ChatGPT to write the definition for you. You just give only keywords, right? Write the operational definition. You can say write the operational definition for delivery lead time for delivering a pizza. Pizza must reach the customer hotter as well as within the committed time. So I'll ask, and then ChatGPT can do the job for you. That way, you will become an AI-powered expert. AI-powered Six Sigma belt. You are not an ordinary belt.
It's
So
done.
it's done, right? So it is writing better than you. I believe my statement is correct. The definition will be definitely better than
Yes.
our definitions. Yes or no? Can you read out? Can you read out? Let all others know. Let's see whether everybody is able to appreciate the definition.
Delivery lead time refers to the amount of time it takes from when an order is placed until it is delivered to the customer.
Very good. Can you understand the start point and ending point here?
Yes.
Yes.
Order
Yes,
is
order
placed.
to reach.
Yes, order is placed until the item is
Item will
delivered
reach
to the
Shipped.
to the
customer, end user,
In,
not delivered to someone,
in
not
short,
delivered to
I have
delivery boy.
written. In short, I had written like start of the order to reach the customer. It is a
Correct.
lead time.
And you can fine tune always. You can ask ChatGPT to update it. Say for example, in which unit you want to measure. You want to measure the delivery lead time in minutes or seconds. That also you so because always when you say CTQ or CTB or a project variable, you must have a proper definition. You must have the target value. You must have the what you call the tolerance, if any, available. And then you should have the unit of measurement. If you have all of these things, it simply means you have understood the problem. It means you are the best person to handle the problem. People who do not know any of this information, probably they will complicate the situation much more to a higher level. So all these informations are required. This is known as define. This is what we call it as define phase. Clear, all of you? Now for the pizza delivery time, what is the target time?
let's say 30
Yes,
minutes.
30
sir.
minutes.
Let's say 30 minutes. Are there any tolerance provided here to you?
No.
You can deliver anytime within 30 minutes. That is the tolerance.
Yes.
All right.
And here the target is less than 30 minutes and closer, the closer to the more closer to zero, the more satisfied the customer will be. Actually,
Correct.
actually the target is expected to be closer to zero, right? And accordingly, but then you can understand the kind of activities, and then accordingly you can have process. Your process can be centered around the target. All right. So that is the definition. That is very, very clear. Now look at the way look at the process, how it happens. Customer places the order. How the restaurant manager or the outlet manager comes to know order is placed? They probably know the store will receive the payment. The store will receive the cooking instruction as well as delivery instruction. Yes or no? So
Yes.
all these things are actually received by the cashier in the store. So the cashier in the store becomes the customer as far as the first step of the process is concerned, or the first activity in the process is concerned. All of you agree with me? The
Yeah.
cashier should get the payment details, cooking details, as well as the delivery details. Then only he can transfer those details to the appropriate people. So the next process is transferring those details to the appropriate person, not only cook, but also to the delivery person, so that the delivery person will also be alert. He will not move away from the outlet. Clear, all of you? And now the delivery the pizza making person needs cooking instruction. The delivery boy need delivery instruction. And the process is we need to transfer the details. And who is now responsible to transfer the details or to provide the input? Or the store cashier. Because he actually received all this
Who
information.
received the information?
Yes, he will actually provide all the order details so that he himself, can pass on the detail to the chef as well as the delivery boy. Now, as far as the second step is concerned, tell me who is the process owner?
Store cashier.
Store cashier is the process owner. He is responsible now. And supplier, he himself is the supplier. Customer, the chef is the customer and delivery boy is the customer. Yes or no? Now the next step. The next step is pizza is getting prepared. Now who is the process owner for preparation of the pizza? The chef is the process owner. And for whom he is preparing the pizza, he prepare the pizza so that the pizza can now go to the packing person. Yes or no?
Yes.
The packaging person, the next station, the packaging fellow, he is the customer for the cook. He will be eagerly waiting for the pizza to be ready. So he has to understand the next customer is the packing person. And so the pizza, as per the instruction, is prepared. But in order to prepare the pizza or cook the pizza base is required, the toppings are required, ingredients are required, which the chef himself can organize or he can get it done through his assistant. If he himself is doing, he himself will become the supplier. Otherwise, his assistant will become a supplier. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So supplier, input, process, output, customer, it goes like this. Now the next step, the packaging person will now take the responsibility. He become the process owner. He has to pack the process pizza in a way that when the delivery boy takes it to the end user, the packaging remain intact, isn't it? It should remain, tamper proof as well as leak proof. So the the packaged pizza along with invoice and the delivery address, everything is handed over to the delivery boy. And in order to pack the pizza, the packing item and the pizza are required. Now, who will provide the packing item as well as the pizza? The pizza cooking assistant will bring, and then the packaging item, probably the store manager, or you can write whatever name you want to write here. This is only illustration. You can write even Ramasamy, Munusamy, Ramkumar, whatever name you want to write, that also you can write. Ultimately, they become your supplier. On the right side, they become your customer. And now the pizza is boxed. Delivery boy is ready with the packaged pizza. And now he is actually, effecting the delivery. Now, the effecting delivery means pizza is handed over to the end user. You see here, pizza is handed over along with the bill. In order to do this, he might require a vehicle. He might require some kind of GPRS equipped mobile, whatever. And so who is responsible to ensure the vehicle is available and everything is available in proper condition? The delivery boy himself. Now, finally, the delivery person returns to the same store and so he is available for the next delivery. Are you able to clearly, pinpointedly notice the starting point of the process? Are you also able to note down the end point of the process? And everything that is happening in between is actually in the scope of the project. Now, if this much information is available, now you as a project leader, will you be able to investigate and find out where exactly the time is getting lost and what kind of changes you need to do, and so that the delivery time as a whole can come down.
Yes,
All of
sir.
it, you understand? The
Yes, sir.
process in the as it is condition is
Yes.
mapped, but the current condition is delivery is taking more than 30 minutes time. But the project goal is to make the delivery happen, let's say within 20 minutes time. That is the goal.
Less than or within 30 minutes.
Okay. So then the current delivery time is more than 45 minutes. Somehow we need to bring it below 30 minutes. That is the project goal. Whether you will appoint extra delivery boy, or you appoint extra chef, or you provide an assistant to the chef, or you have a separate station for the packaging, or do you want to club the packaging also with the chef? I don't know which can actually solve the problem. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you map the process as it is and then have a proper investigation, understand. And when we are actually trying to reduce the delivery lead time, what project it is? Can I call it as a Six Sigma project or can I call it as a lean project?
As a
Lean.
lean project.
Lean project.
It is a lean project,
Lean
but you
project.
can still do it using the DMAC methodology. Nothing wrong with it, right? Because we are trying to ensure
Reduce the
only the
waste
right amount of
time.
time is.
delivery time.
Yes.
Yes, we are actually focusing on improving
Customer
the
satisfaction.
productivity issue here, right? We are solving a productivity problem. So this is how you need to actually create a Sipoc. It is nothing but an Excel table. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But if you are not even able to develop this Sipoc diagram, what it confirms? It confirms that you are not going to do anything in the project.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
As a project team, if we are not able to develop even a small table showing the various important activities involved, it simply confirms that we are not going to achieve anything. So it is always a good idea to annex this SIPOC along with the project charter while submitting to the project sponsor. As the sponsor will definitely gain a confidence to approve your project. That is the idea. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That's all about the SIPOC. And there are few more examples which I'm not going to go through now. But if
So,
there are
sir,
any specific,
when do we use specifically Speakock? Is it only if there are assembly process or if it is a continuous process?
any
Example of
process.
So if I have a continuous process where there is no, it goes on from one state to other state, so you have to break the Sipoc into sections, or it is to be end to end.
Oh, no, see, always
Yeah.
we need to
Thank you.
improve the process one by one.
Okay.
Always it is a good idea to improve the process one by one. Let us say we have a problem in dispatching your certificate. Certificates are delivered late. So this is the problem. Now, should I consider only the certificate printing and dispatch process, or should I consider all the activities we do? Should I consider training
Okay.
also, admission also, everything? What is the right approach now?
Yeah, unitizing it is better. So then you can
Yeah,
then
it
look
is
at
better
the
to,
boundary.
yeah, exactly. Better to, focus on the certificate printing and then certificate dispatch. These two things are required, definitely, right? If first of all, the certificates must be ready.
Yeah.
In order to make ready your certificate, we need your photo, we need your name, we need your passing confirmation, we need the payment confirmation, because all these things without which if we give the certificate and it's not fair, isn't it? So
Correct.
we need all this confirmation and then the certificate is printed. And as soon as it is printed, then the dispatch process will start. There are two processes that requires your attention. There are two processes that requires attention, requires investigation, and find out all the non-value adding. Try to
Actually.
understand whether any two activities can be combined. If there are two activities that can be combined, please effect
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Or
sir.
that in the application
Yeah.
itself, you are given a photo. Then
Yes.
probably the same photo can be used for
Certificate.
certificate also.
Yeah.
Application itself, you are giving name. The same name can be used for certificate also.
Yeah.
But if you are actually repeating the steps, then what will happen? Obviously, it will be time consuming. So the lead time will be higher. So if there is an opportunity to combine processes, you can do that. If there is an opportunity by which you can make your process perform better, that also can be done. So this
Okay.
is what we call it process improvement. So in your process also, it is always you need to brainstorm, and you will be the right person to judge whether to have improve the process one by one, or do you want to combine certain process. Here I combined two process. Not only the dispatch of the certificate, but also the printing of the certificate. Have you noticed? Printing and dispatch, I have combined, and then I wanted to improve that.
Okay.
Because there is a requirement there. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Because delay can be because of the printing, or delay can be because of the dispatch. If the delay is definitely because of the dispatch, then I will not worry about the printing. Or if the printing is not in the scope of the project leader, then also probably I may not include. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Always when you do a project, then the process should operate within your area of influence. If certain process is not within your area of influence, and that person is not willing to probably, let's say, support, then it is better to scope out certain steps. Because project, whenever, whatever project we execute, and sure shot, we should be able to deliver the result. So in the define phase, you can scope the project accordingly. Hope I have answered your question, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
you will be
Clear,
the
sir.
best judge. Yeah,
Yes.
you will be the best judge as far as your project is concerned. So here is a Sipoc diagram for the welding process. I'm not going to read out. All of you will, start sleeping immediately. But if you are a welding expert, then you can actually read and then understand what are they trying to do and who are all the parties involved and all that. But definitely for your process, you should be able to write very, very clearly. And now that you are equipped with the chat GPT also, you can leave the job, you can assign the job, and it can do it for you. And you can just copy paste and then make a presentation and project in a proper way. So what is Sipoc stand for? It stands for supplier, input, process, output, and customer. It will include only high level view of the process, showing only 5 to 8 steps. Don't try to show everything in the first attempt. Starting point, end point, make it clear, and pick up the key important steps. And that is good enough. And later on, you can develop. But if you are able to write, then nothing wrong, but not required. The start point, end point must be indicated correctly. And then Sipoc also helps in visualizing all the stakeholders and the project boundary. What is coming in your scope and what is not coming in your scope is very, very clear. That's all. Hereafter, will you be able to develop Sipoc?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So whenever you are, a little doubtful, little skeptical, immediately go for a small brainstorming on what are you going to do, and call all the project team members, the relevant people, and then have a discussion. And then if you note down the points, then you will get the direction, and then you can proceed. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
this completes our discussion on Sipoc, and now we are going to move on to the next topic. You know what is next?